Okay, so I don't know if you've seen this meme before, but it's pretty popular. At least I think it is because I've seen it a lot. And now I've taken the mission for that. I am going to solve this problem for you so you can get that Wi-Fi password wherever the restaurant is. I have no clue. Would like to know actually, but I will solve this problem so you don't have to, and you can get a Wi-Fi password so you can use the Wi-Fi in a coffee shop. So let's do this. Let's try and solve this. So, when I'm looking at this, I feel like this plus over here, and since this is like one quantity, I can probably distribute this and break up the integral and see what that takes me. So I think that's probably a better idea first off. So let's do that. Of x cubed cosine x over 2 times the square root of 4 minus x squared plus 1/2 times the square root of 4 minus x squared, and all of that dx. Okay, so now let's break up this case and let's look at them individually. So I'm gonna look at this first one here. Let's write this first one over here. Okay. So, I'm just making a little observation here. I noticed that x cubed is an odd function. Cosine, regardless of the input, will always be an even function. And this also looks like it's going to be an even function. So, one thing that I want to check is, since there are two even functions times an odd function, is to check that this is an odd function. Because the odd functions have a unique property in which that if it's a symmetric integral, it would be 0 for any odd function. That's just what an odd function is. Just a little recall is that odd functions typically have graphs like this. They're symmetrical, this, like if you fold them this way, kind of, so that this area is equal to this area, and if they're symmetrical, right, from negative a to a, this integral would equal 0. So I want to check if this thing is an odd function, and if it is, this integral will very nicely equal 0. Okay, so let's check if this is an odd function. Odd functions are if the function itself times the negative input has to equal the negative function. This is like to check whether this is an odd function or not. So let's do that. So let's find f of negative x. So f of negative x is negative x cubed times cosine of negative x over 2 times the square root of 4 minus x squared dx. Okay, and we also want to find negative f of x, and that's just that times a negative. So negative x cubed cosine x over 2 square root of 4 minus x squared, right? We write this like that so it makes sense. So this, probably wrote this in a really bad way, but let's look at this. Negative x cubed is negative x times x cubed, like that, because you're basically splitting up the negative 1 and you're cubing that, you're getting negative 1 again. Now, cosine is an even function. So this input, the negative input, has no bearing in it because the positive input is the same value. So this cosine of negative x over 2 is the same thing as cosine of x over 2, right? And the same thing we're going to do over here, what we did up there. We're going to take the negative 1 and square it, but this time since we're squaring it, we're going to get positive 1. So this is going to be the times 4 minus x squared, because negative x squared is x. Hey, have a look. These two are the same function. That means this entire function is odd, which means this all goes to 0. So that's nice. Let's go back over here. So now we know that this goes to 0. So we only got to worry about this. So let's rewrite this. Negative 2 to 2, that looks like an S. I'm so sorry. Let me rewrite it. That's not any better, but whatever at this point. 1/2 times the square root of 4 minus x squared dx. Now you can solve this using trig sub if you want to make your life hard. But I'm gonna take this slowly and realize, what is this? I said it was an even function before, and that should give you a hint on what it is. But if you didn't catch it yet, this is just an equation of a semicircle with radius 4, not 4, 2, negative 2, 2. Why? Because x squared plus y squared equals r squared. R is 4, r is 2, and 2 squared is 4. So I'm going to write that as 4, right? And if I minus x squared on both sides and square root it, I'm going to get y is equal to the square root of 4 minus x squared. And mind you, this is not going to be a circle anymore because it would violate the vertical line test. So this means we're going to have to omit the negative square root, so we're just taking that principal root in this case. So this is just a semicircle. So instead of going to trig sub, I'm just going to use a little geometry. I know the radius of a circle is pi r squared, and I want to find the semicircle radius. I just got to divide that by 2. What is the radius of the circle? It's 2. That's what this is. So this is just pi times 2 squared over 2. That's great. So that's going to be 1/2 times pi times 2 squared, which is 4, over 2. Nicely, 2 times 2 is 4, and we have a 4 on the top too, so these all constants will cancel out except for pi. So your final answer is pi. And now you got your password. So have a good day in that coffee shop.